Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing another installment in my kind of Black Friday slash holiday sale season haul video. I mentioned in the very first one, which I will link down below, there are going to be a couple of these of all kind of different categories because obviously I purchased a ton of stuff between, you know, all the sales in November, all the sales in December, all that good stuff, and I've just kind of been accumulating everything to do kind of a collective little series of different hauls of all the different sales and stuff I've been picking up. And today it's going to be all the books that I recently purchased. I know y'all love book hauls, and I love book hauls. I love watching book hauls. I love filming book hauls. Books are just one of those things I love to shop for. I love to use bookstores. I love Barnes & Noble. I just love just the experience of just being nice and quiet and just walking through and picking out books and just the whole experience. If you're like a bookworm or a book nerd, I'm sure that you understand exactly what I'm talking about. I don't have a ton here, but a pretty good selection, and they will of course all be linked down below for you guys to check out. And of course, if you've read any of them, don't spoil anything, but let me know how you liked them, what you thought, whatever book you're reading right now, or like whatever you're into, definitely share in the comments down below as well. I would love to just like chat about books. It's one of my favorite things, so definitely let me know. And without further ado, let's talk about some of these new books I've gotten. So these first two actually showed in Vlogmas whenever. I don't know when this video is going up in relation to like Vlogmas and all the other hauls because everything's kind of all over the place in terms of what's coming in the mail and what I'm posting and when. But these I showed in Vlogmas. I got these two books at a used bookstore when we went on like a little day trip. But even though these are used, they don't look used at all. This first one is apparently a New York Times bestselling author. I'm not familiar with J.T. Ellison, but this is Good Girls Lie, and it's a really fat book. I think this has what, almost 500 pages or something like that. Yeah, so this is kind of a fat book. It's a little bit like kind of a short, just like short in shape, but definitely super fat. And as you can tell, this looks brand freaking new. The pages look like they've literally never been touched. Spine doesn't have any creasing or any, like, it looks like it's in perfect condition. I wouldn't even believe that this was used, and this was only $3.75 at the used bookstore. It's kind of like a murder mystery that happens at like a private school. I feel like you can kind of tell from the picture on the front. So that's kind of the vibe. Y'all know I'm totally into like thriller, suspense, the murder mystery. That's my vibe. So I'm really excited to read this one. Next up, I'm on a huge Leanne Moriarty kick. I loved Big Little Lies so much that I was so excited to try some other books from her. I ordered a couple others which are in this haul, so I will get to those. And I just so happened to stumble upon it at the bookstore. And this bookstore actually had a ton. It was such a good bookstore. It's in Forest City, North Carolina, if you ever go there. I think it's called Next Door Books, something like that. But they had a really good selection. They had a ton of Jodi Picoult, a ton of Leanne Moriarty. They just had a ton of really great authors. They had a lot of Kristen Hanna. It was a great bookstore, but this was the only Leanne Moriarty book that they had there that I didn't have yet. So I didn't read the back of this. I don't really know what it's about, but if I typically like an author, I'll read just about anything that they write. I don't really need to know what it's about. I just kind of trust them. And I thought the artwork on this was just really pretty. I love the font and the picture and this little kind of like hot pink peeping out. The next book was my book of the month pick for December. I think this is just the most gorgeous book ever. Like, look at the artwork and the colors. It's got this really pretty like hot fuchsia pink and then really pretty purple. I'm so excited. Sorry if you can hear my cats. It's called People Like Her. It seems to be about a like influencer. I think she like gets stalked. I think that's kind of the idea. Again, I try not to read too much into my books. I like to be surprised. So I'm super excited. I thought this would just be kind of like obviously a little bit relevant. I feel like influencers and all that kind of stuff, like there's not a lot of books about that. So I thought this would be kind of interesting and different, and I just thought it was so pretty. And I actually think this is an early release. I don't think this is actually available to the public yet, and I don't know if it will be anytime soon or by the time this video is going up. So I will have it linked if it is, but that's another thing that's really cool about Book of the Month. They have books on there that are not going to be available to purchase for sometimes months. So they're early releases, which I think is really cool, and you get them for a really discounted price. I will put a link to Book of the Month because I have a discount code. I think that gets you a book for either $5 or $9. It kind of depends what the promotion is, but either way you get a book for really cheap. It's like cheaper than you can get it on Amazon, and they're brand new, really nice hardcover books. So definitely check out the description box for a link for Book of the Month. It's a really good deal. All right, these next couple of books are from online. They are used. They're from Better World Books. They had a really good little coupon going on over the Black Friday week kind of thing, and then I have a couple from Amazon. So this is one of the used books. This is Dear Edward, which I'm sure y'all have heard about this. This I feel like has been one of the most popular books of 2020. I feel like everyone's just loving it. It's also just really pretty with the blue and like the different shades of blue and the pink. And again, I don't know a ton about this book because I try not to, but I just know everyone's been obsessed with it. I feel like every like bookstagram I follow, this has just been such a featured book, and it's just like taken the internet by storm that I feel like I had to read it. So I ended up snagging snagging this. Like I said, I don't really know what it's about, so I don't know what to expect. It's definitely, I don't think like a murder mystery kind of thing like I typically read, but I'm really excited to like see what all the hype is about. And if y'all have read this, let me know if you loved it like I feel like the rest of the world has. This one, I'm pretty sure I'm going to love. A lot of my friends have read this book and really, really loved it, and I feel like, again, it's one of those books. I think on Goodreads, this is one of my most highly, like if I rank all of my want to read books, like the ones I haven't read yet, if I rank them by rating, this is like the first or second most highly rated book on my whole list of like hundreds of books that I want to read. So I have really been highly anticipating purchasing this book. I know Kristen Hanna, people are obsessed with her right now. This is not my typical style of book. This is set in like the past. I think it's like kind of in wartime. So it's definitely not, yeah, it's World War II. So it's definitely not my typical style book. Like I don't really like books set in the past, honestly, at all, or movies or anything. Like it's just not typically my jam, but I've just heard that it's so amazing and her writing is so good. So I'm kind of willing to like give it a chance. And I think the artwork is just so pretty. It's kind of reflective. Just the whole vibe of the cover just makes me interested in it. And it's also a huge book. This has like 450-ish pages, and it's really kind of pretty too. It's got some pretty artwork. The next two are actually both by Liane Moriarty, so there's 3 books from her in this video, which I didn't realize I had that many. This one is called The Husband's Secret. I have no idea what this is about, to be honest, but I have a husband, so I'm always, you know, interested in reading what can they be up to, if you know what I mean. These books, you will notice though, if you search these either like on Amazon or honestly on any website, I feel like her books have like a bajillion different covers. Like this book has quite a few different covers. Even Big Little Lies has a few different covers. I think The Hypnotist, what is that? The Hypnotist Love Story. That one has a few different covers. So make sure you just like search by the title. Don't try to look for the covers because they're all totally different. This is confusing because it says The Husband's Secret, but there's like a kid's hands holding like a mason jar with the butterfly. So that's a little confusing. I just love her writing, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one. And then the other one from Liane Moriarty I have is What Alice Forgot, which again, this has a really pretty cover with like the light blue, the little dandelion, the little like pop of yellow. I really like just how her books look. She's a New York Times bestselling author, of course, and this actually says soon to be a major motion picture, which I obviously don't know like when this was printed per se. So I imagine this might already be a movie. Is this a movie? Have y'all seen this? I didn't know that. Maybe it wasn't like that popular of a movie. I love books that are movies though. I always read them first, but I think it's so cool to watch a movie after you've read the book. Just like see the characters come to life, see how like similar or different it is. Do the characters look like what you imagined? Like that whole kind of thing. I think that's such a fun way to like see your book kind of come alive. Typically, I feel like the book is always better, like always better. Sometimes it's cool to compare like how you liked the book versus the movie, like the kind of creative liberties they take, how you feel about them. I feel like that's always really interesting. So I didn't realize this was a movie, so I'm definitely gonna have to read this and then check out what the movie situation is. But if you know about this movie, definitely let me know what you think about it. If you've read and watched, so let me know, just don't spoil anything. And then the last used book, this is called No Exit. I thought this book was just kind of a strange shape in a way. It's like really kind of tall and sort of narrow. This I'm super excited about. I think I read about this on Amazon. I first saw this book on Amazon and I was interested, but I'm pretty sure the storyline of this, because I read the back of it, and that's what is making me so excited. I typically don't do that, like I said, but I think this has to do with a bunch of like strangers being stranded in like a snowstorm at a gas station or something like that, and one person goes outside and notices that in someone's car there's like a child or someone like trapped in the car, and they don't know like what to do or whose car it is or like how to like assess the situation or what to do about it. They don't know if they should bring it up because they're obviously trapped with all these strangers, and if they have a person trapped in their car, they're probably dangerous. They might take you or kill you. So what do you do? It's like this ethical and moral dilemma, and like I love books that kind of put you mentally in a situation where you're like, this could, I mean, it's very far-fetched, but it could happen in real life, and if it did, like, how would you handle it? What is the character gonna do? How are they gonna handle it? How, like, just the whole concept really just, like, gets my mind going, and I love books like that where I can, like, I hear what the story is about, and I'm like, how is that gonna go down? Like, I need to know what happens, how they handle that. I need to really know more about this. So those are the kind of books that I'm obsessed with. This one definitely though looks super used. Like, it has a lot of the creasing on the spine, as you can tell. I mean, the pages are in perfectly good shape, but you can definitely tell someone's read this. But it's totally fine with me. I only read my books one time and then I usually pass them on, let people borrow them, stuff like that. So I don't mind used books whatsoever. And then these last two are from Amazon. Amazon did, for like the, I think it was Black Friday week, they did like a 5 off of 20 or something like that. So I grabbed this one, which this was not on my to-read list. Like, this book was not on my radar at all, but I saw it on Amazon and it had like insane reviews, and then I was reading the reviews and I actually looked it up on Goodreads, and it turns out everyone is just crazy about this book and this author, Colleen Hoover. This is called It Ends With Us. I thought the cover art was really pretty. I love this little pink and kind of like the shattered flower, and just the whole vibe of it was really pretty. I don't know a ton of what it's about. It definitely seems like it's kind of like a mystery sort of kind of situation. I'm not 100% sure, but I just know everyone that has read it has been obsessed with it. Like, the reviews are so good. It says this is a New York Times bestselling author as well. I feel like whenever they're, but then again, I feel like almost everyone's like a New York Times bestselling author, but I feel like if they are a good author and if the reviews are good, typically I like the book if like the general public likes the book. I'm not like super picky with my books, so if like everyone's loving it, I will probably love it too. And I just stumbled upon this book. Typically when I'm buying books, it's because they're on my want to read list and I know about them, I know about the author, I've seen reviews, whatever it may be. This one was just kind of out of nowhere, so that one I'm excited to check out. This is one of the ones, however, that I have had on my list. I feel like this is another book of 2020 that was really popular. Britt Bennett in general, I feel like has really blown up. She wrote The Vanishing Half, which I haven't read yet, but I also recently purchased that as well because that's another book this year that everyone's gone crazy about. She's of course a New York Times bestselling author, and I love the cover art on this one too. It's just kind of whimsical and different and a really pretty kind of color story. Again, I don't really know much about this except I'm pretty sure it is about like mothers, like a group of mothers and their kids involved, and I don't know what happens, but I'm interested in that whole kind of storyline. And again, if she seems to be a really good author that people are loving, I definitely want to test her out and give her a try. So that is all of the books. So like I said, not a ton, but definitely like a good stack. I have been kind of ripping through books, especially throughout the holiday season. You know, when we're spending a little bit more time at home, I've been reading a ton, and so I love having kind of like a big backlog of books to look forward to, and just like having a little library in my house is like my favorite thing. I like just having books and seeing them, and I just love books. I'm literally so nerdy when it comes to books. I cannot get enough. But that is going to be everything for this video. I hope that y'all enjoyed. I will have every single book that I mentioned listed down below, and of course let me know what y'all are into at the moment. If y'all would like to subscribe, we would love to have you. We have so much fun here, and until next time, I will see y'all in our next video. Bye guys.